Get happy. In Douglas Adams' book, Mostly Harmless, there is a security robot named Colin. Colin's job is to fly around the offices of Infinitum Productions and report back if he sees or hears something that might be a danger to the building or company. Rather than deal with the complex programming problems that would have been necessary to instruct Colin on all the possible dangerous situations that might happen and what to do if they did, the programmers, actually Douglas Adams, "You gotta live this stuff," created a microchip. This chip contains the conditions under which Colin the robot would be happy. If these conditions were met, Colin was happy. If the conditions weren't met, he took the actions necessary to make himself happy. These involved alerting the security forces and putting actions into play that made whatever was threatening his bosses go away. Quite simple, Colin wanted to be happy. As long as all the conditions to his happiness were met, his bosses and their building were safe, then he just kinda bopped along being happy. If he became unhappy, he would automatically take the right action to get happy. Ford Prefect manages to do some things that make Colin's bosses quite unhappy, and would have made Colin quite unhappy, by taking a piece of wire and bypassing the chip that held the conditions to Colin's happiness. The circuit used to be input stimulus chip with conditions for happiness, output to Colin. Now it was just simple straight wire, and Colin was deliciously happy no matter what happened. You won't be at all surprised to find out that I think there's an internet marketing lesson in this. You may be surprised at what the lesson is. Here's the lesson. Internet marketing is just a means to an end. It's not a religion. It's not a lifestyle, although it can help you create one. You and I are a lot like Colin. Before Ford Prefect bypassed the chip that held his conditions for happiness, everything we do, every decision we make, every cake we bake, old police song. Let's try again. We get stimulus, it goes through our chip containing the conditions under which we can or will be happy, and then our brain dumps endorphins and/or serotonin or withholds them. Neurons fire or don't. Now, with surgery, drugs, or a Zen practice, we can do to ourselves what Ford did to Colin. We can arrange to be happy whatever happens. I spent most of the 70s in a remarkably happy state. They tell me there is a Taoist story of an old farmer who had worked his crops for many years. One day his horse ran away. Upon hearing the news, his neighbors came to visit. "Such bad luck," they said sympathetically. "Maybe," the farmer replied. The next morning the horse returned, bringing with it 3 other wild horses. "How wonderful," the neighbors exclaimed. "Maybe," replied the old man. The following day, his son tried to ride one of the untamed horses, was thrown, and broke his leg. The neighbors again came to offer their sympathy on his misfortune. "Maybe," answered the farmer. The day after, military officials came to the village to draft young men into the army. Seeing that the son's leg was broken, they passed him by. The neighbors congratulated the farmer on how well things had turned out. "Maybe," said the farmer. My position is that the chip with the conditions is the problem, and the truly enlightened are able to bypass the conditions for happiness and just be happy. For the rest of us, the answer lies in gaining control of that chip. The one that Ford bypassed in Colin, that holds the conditions under which we can / will be happy. Inside that chip is a checklist. I'm trying to see what's on my checklist. What makes me happy? The contents of that checklist are a function of our environment and conditioning. All the information and misinformation you've received is filtered into conditions that are on that checklist. The trick is to take control of that checklist and make sure that the conditions for happiness that you've been programmed with are actually the ones you want. Then, you need to see just how effective those checklists are and how well you understand them. For example, you might think that getting a new car will make you happy. I suggest you try it. Then, once you've got the new car, take a reading of your inner state and see if that did it. Are you now, ultimately, finally happy? If so, congratulations, but you're lying. If not, well, that's good data. That didn't do it. What will? Dating a supermodel, having more money than you can spend, owning your own desert island, all of these things are within your power to achieve. However, will they really make you happy? What's this got to do with internet marketing? Well, one of the things on my checklist is freedom. I love being able to do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. My portable empire has given me that. Internet marketing is a very simple, easy way to make enough money to be free. If it's hard for you, you're doing it wrong. I'm working on the definitive absolute basics internet marketing course, and I'll let you know when it's ready, as you know, and if you don't know, just keep reading. I've had a wonderful opportunity to draw a line in the sand of my life and say, this changes everything. I don't want to lose the gift aspect of this. It is a gift, it's one of those first day of the rest of your life kind of things, and I don't want to miss a second of it. In an earlier blog post, I invited you to lie down with me on the desert floor and let's see what's real.